So here is HYMC Hycroft Mining Holding Corp. This finishes at $2.32 today. That is up 81.25%. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is AMC Entertainment. This finishes at $29.33 today. That is up 44.91%. So AMC has been running like crazy the past 2 weeks here. Looks like a 10-day winning streak or so. Every single day in the green. And today, this does appear like it is squeezing. This was number one on StockTwits today, by far. I think it had about 17,000 mentions. So we're going to analyze it today. So there was a reason as to why this stock went up so much. The CEO, Adam Aaron, did make some comments about their newest stake in HYMC, Hycroft Mining Corp. So let's take a look at that. So really nothing new happened, but the CEO, Adam Aaron, is explaining himself and why the company invested so much money into HYMC. And I'm just going to summarize here. He says that HYMC is similar to AMC about a year ago, where they were in trouble of going bankrupt, but there was a lot of potential in the company. They just didn't really have cash to work with. And by harnessing the power of retail, he thinks that HYMC can turn around and be a very profitable company. So that was the summary of it. So it seems like the apes liked it, the market liked it, everyone jumping in here, buying the stock up, and it looks like a lot of shorts getting squeezed out. So 45% gain today, very nice. Let's go ahead and analyze here. And really, there's not too much to go off of, not too many technical indicators. But we do have a cup and handle in the making here. Looks like the bottom of the cup is around $13, and there can be multiple possible tops. It can be around $32, $44.60, $52.40, $65, or even the high of $73. Although I do think the most realistic top would be $32. But those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And then we do have a possible bull flag forming here. No confirmation just yet, but it appears like we have a flag pull in the making here. So all we need is a little pullback to form a flag. And then we would have confirmation on the bull flag, and that would be a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock may want to break out to the upside here. And in the aftermarket here, this is down to $29. So if this holds, that would be a bearish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that tomorrow the stock will sell off. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of $29.85 and $28.95. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be $30.90, $31.95, $32.75, $33.65, $34.80, $36.05, $36.75, $37.60, $38.35, $39, $40.20, $40.80, $41.95, $43.25, $44.60, $46.15, $47.05, $47.95, $48.80, $49.55, and then $51.25. There is resistance above $51.25, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be $28.95, $27.85, $26.75, $25.35, $24.35, $23.60, $22.45, $21.15, $20.35, $19.55, $18.55, $17.80, $17.30, $16.50, $15.35, $14.10, and then $12.95. There is support below $12.95, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, $29.33, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a regular amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks $39 to the upside, the channel starts to open up and get pretty wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks $39. RSI is currently at 80. So that is pretty overbought and overvalued, so be careful, guys. And this did 225 million in volume today. Very significant volume, way above the average. So this pump/squeeze today was confirmed by the volume. All right, guys. So just my opinion, not financial advice. So longer term, this definitely looks like a good stock to hold and diamond hands. In the short term, this may have a little more upside to go, but this has been running for the past 2 weeks like crazy. Huge winning streak here. Big day today, and I do think there should be some healthy pullback coming up in the short term here. we are getting mixed signals. On the bullish side, we have the cup and handle, possible bull flag, and on the bearish side, we have the high RSI and aftermarket action. So we have some strong long-term bullish indicators, but we have short-term bearish indicators. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, personally, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that at this point. I think you already missed your chance. Like I said, this is on a 2-week winning streak. You already missed over a 100% upside. So if you were to go long at this point, that would kind of be FOMO. I think this has the potential to keep running to the upside in the short term, but I really don't think it should go higher than 32-ish. Maybe it'll go to 35-ish, but I don't think there's too much more upside potential. So maybe you can make 10 to 20% more on the upside here, but too risky for my liking. I don't think going long is the greatest idea. I would say going long here would be a high risk, medium reward play. Not saying you can't make money, but you already missed a lot of upside here, and at this point, it's just too dangerous for my liking. Honestly, if you want to go long, I think the better option would be to hold off for a little bit, wait for a pullback, and then come in and make your move once it starts to bottom out and catch support. So not really sure how low this is going to go, but here's an educated guess. So I do think the top of the cup is around 32 and the bottom is 13. So this should pull back about halfway between the top and the bottom of the cups. So I do think there's a good chance this comes back down to around 22. So I don't think going long here is the greatest idea. I would hold off, and I would support going long at 22 and lower. And if it pulls back below 22, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But looks like this is due for a healthy pullback. Cup and handle is still a bullish indicator at the moment, but that can turn into a bearish indicator. High RSI and aftermarket action, so everything suggests that in the short term, this should have a healthy pullback before it breaks out to the upside again. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, personally, I don't think that's the greatest idea. I do think this is due for a healthy pullback, like I just said. But honestly, the bearish indicators aren't that strong, and you really shouldn't mess with the AMC ape army. I don't think there's too much more upside potential, but you never know. Should never underestimate the apes. So I think the best you can do on the short side here is if you short at 32, where the top of the cup is, and like I said, this should pull back to around 22. So maybe you can get around a 30% downside, which is some pretty good money. So personally, it's too risky for my liking. I wouldn't really go for it. If you are going to short this, please do that at your own risk. I would say short this at around 32 and cover at around 22 for about a 30% gain here. So I would say going short would be a medium risk, high reward play. It's actually worth a shot, just pretty risky because, again, this is AMC and the stock is so unpredictable. This can't keep squeezing. Not likely, but possible. So there is the chance you get into some trouble here if you do decide to short this. So I think there are better plays out there in the market to short, but it's not necessarily a bad play. So I can't support going short. I would say just wait for a little longer, wait for a better entry. I would say at around 32 and cover where the handle should start to bottom out at, which is around 22. So congratulations to everyone who made money on the stock today. Consider taking profits if you're up, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC Entertainment. So here is HYMC Hycroft Mining Holding Corp. This finishes at $2.32 today. That is up 81.25%. So this stock had some major price action. I believe this was number 2 on StockTwits after AMC. So once again, we're going to analyze it. So pretty much the same news as AMC. The company did announce a stock offering not too long ago, and it appears like they closed their offering, which usually isn't bullish news, but it appears like the apes took that as bullish news. We're happy that dilution is over. And then again, the CEO of AMC, Adam Aaron, came out and explains why they invested into HYMC. So that speech appeared to be really bullish. Apes liked it, jumped in here, bought the stock up today, and it's definitely short squeezing. So big gain today, over 80%, and it appears like it's still moving in the aftermarket here. So still more upside to go. All right, let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, this appears to be a cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being around 115. It looks like the top of the cup is around 270. So that is a bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to 270 to complete this cup. Although this is actually a cup within a larger long-term cup, where this can possibly even run to $3, $3.35, $3.95, or even $4.20. Nice. So in the short and long terms, the smaller cup and the bigger cup are both bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And there is a gap down at $3.35, so that is a bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to $3.35 to fill this gap. May take a little bit, but eventually it should. And in the aftermarket here, this is running up to $2.50. So that is a bullish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that the stock will continue to run tomorrow as well. Looks like it's in the middle of a short squeeze and not done squeezing just yet. And for the bearish stuff, we do have a double gap up. First gap up is around 40 cents. So bearish indicator, that is telling us that the stock may come back down to 40 cents to fill that gap. Looks pretty unlikely at this point, but possible, so be aware of that, guys. And today we have another gap up at around 140. So that is a bearish indicator that is telling us that the stock may come back down to 140 to fill this gap. And I do think that one is realistic and possible. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now the stock is sitting on the support of 230, which it finished around today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 240, 245, 260, 270, 280, $3, 310, 320, 335, 350, 355, 365, 380, 395, 410, 420, nice, 435, and then 450. There is resistance above 450, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 220, 210, 195, 180, 170, 160, 150, 140, 130, 115, $1, 82 cents, 75 cents, 65 cents, 58 cents, 51 cents, 43 cents, 36 cents, and then the low of 28 cents. 28 is the all-time low, so no support below that. So right now at this current price, 232, the channels to the upside and the downside are very wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. RSI is currently at 75, so that is overbought and overvalued, so be careful, guys. And this did 366 million in volume today. Very significant volume, biggest volume day of the year, so definitely short squeezing here. So this pump slash squeeze today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. This definitely is short squeezing right now. Incredible run all the way from 40 cents, so over a 500% gain here, and it appears like it's not done running just yet. The aftermarket action would suggest that this still has more upside to go. So longer term, this appears to be a good stock to buy and hold to diamond hands. Strong bullish indicators in the cup and handle and gap down. And in the short term, I do think eventually this will have to pull back, but for the time being, there's still more upside potential. So I do think this should start to top out at around 270. Seems like some pretty strong resistance there, but it may even break out past that. So if you want to go long, not financial advice. Personally, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. They should keep running to the upside. There is still more money to be made, but honestly, I don't think there's too much more upside potential. Again, I do think this will start to top out at around 270, but this already had such a huge run. Just a lot of upside already, and at this point, this is starting to get pretty overbought and overvalued. Going long here would kind of be FOMO. I would say going long would be a high-risk, medium-reward play. Just not really worth it in my opinion. Maybe you can make about 20% more to the upside at this current price, 230. But yeah, I don't think there's too much more money to be made on the upside and a good amount of downside potential. Not really worth it in my opinion. Not necessarily a bad play, just pretty risky at this point. If you want to go long, please do that at your own risk. I think it's a better idea just to hold off for right now and try to get this at a better price. So there is a gap up today at 140. I think it's very possible this comes back down to 140. I think the better play to go long, and especially if you're willing to hold this for the long term, diamond hands, I think it's better to wait until 140. Good chance the gap fills there, and I think that'd be a pretty good entry. And if it pulls back below 140, then you can just average down at these supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice. So it does appear to be a good opportunity coming up here. Not yet, but very soon. Again, it does not appear like it's done squeezing just yet, but this should come to an end relatively soon here in the next few trading sessions. So give it a little more time. 230 is already a pretty good entry on the short side, but I think you should be able to get this at 270 and possibly even higher. I would support going short at 270 and higher. And I would say cover at 140 where the gap is. Good chance that fills. So from 270 down to 140, that is about a 50% downside. So a lot of money to be made here on the downside. Again, not yet, but very shortly. Coming up very soon here. And actually, in the aftermarket right now, it is up to 270. So it may even go higher than 270. So yeah, looks like a really good shorting opportunity coming up here. Going short at 270 and higher would be a medium risk, high reward play. A lot of downside potential, a lot of money to be made. But again, it's still in the middle of a squeeze. So as long as you can withstand some upside pressure, you should be able to make some pretty good money on the downside here. So pretty straightforward. Long term, looks like a good stock to buy and hold. Short term, it looks like there's still more upside potential, but I do expect a healthy pullback here coming up very soon. So if you want to quick scalp this on the long side, do that at your own risk. Otherwise, if you're in it for the long term, I would just hold off and wait for a better price. And if you want to short this, looks like a pretty good opportunity coming up here. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. Consider taking profits if you're up, not financial advice. and good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is HYMC Hycroft Mining Holding Corp. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.